Okay, so welcome to the team call. We're February 2nd, 2016 already. Second day of the Team Cup Challenge. Woo woo! And this is how I feel about Success Club. Woohoo! I love it. You know that, guys. If you're on my team, you know you've heard me talk about it many a times. It's the perfect time right now to start talking about Success Club and have some coaches want to share some success tips with you guys. We're starting the Team Cup Challenge, which is essentially based off of Success Club. So briefly, I want to just share a little bit about my background with Success Club. So I've been a coach for 5 years, and I am a Success Club legend. When you get to be a Success Club legend, that means you've hit Success Club 24 straight months in a row. You never miss. And then from there on, you just keep adding to that and adding to that. I think now I think I might be up to 26 months now or something like that. But they just call you a legend, and you know that you're committed to making Success Club happen at that point. I'm a 2-star diamond coach, and I've been on 5 Success Club trips, or this is going to be my 5th? Yeah, it's going to be my 5th in March. So I've earned all those trips. They're paid for by Beachbody. You just have to pay for your flight. And if you make certain milestones throughout the year, like if you make Success Club the whole time, or if you enroll a certain number of coaches, they also give you travel cash. So I am able to cover my flight essentially. So it's a very nice reward program. You need to hit 5 points only to make Success Club 5. But really, now that we have challenge packs, the goal is to help 3 new people a month, and that will give you 6 points. But Shakeology HD alone, which I rarely ever sell, unless I meet a gym lover and they just want Shakeology, but I rarely do that. Or it could ad hoc come up from a customer lead. That is 1 point. Otherwise, challenge packs, new challenge packs are 2 points, okay? You can make Success Club 5, and if you're Emerald above, that gives you the free customer leads. And if you make Success Club 10 and you're an Emerald or above, you get the free customer leads, and you also get paid Shakeology or HD customers. They could be Shakeology, Challenge Pack, Ultimate Reset customers, but you get paid commission right on that customer right away. The customer leads have provided me a lot of income and a lot of sales over the years. It's amazing how they eventually trickle in and reorder, and you're able to connect with people like that. I've had several coaches sign up that were customer leads, and I didn't have to go and find them. They were given to me. So that is a super cool bonus of making Success Club and being Emerald and above. Those are really big goals to have. I'm just going to mute everyone again. Okay, perfect. Okay, so another thing I wanted to mention is that, 2 things that are guaranteed to grow your income with this business. The first one is adding to your team, adding coaches to your team and building a team. And the second one, Success Club, okay? So building a team, Success Club. Those have to be your monthly goals if you want to grow your income. And coaches that are able to hit Success Club on a monthly basis over time have grown, like say, for example, a 2-year period. I read a statistic, and I keep it on my recognition slide every month, that coaches that have hit Success Club within a 2-year period consistently have grown their income by 68%. And guys, let me tell you something. We all got our tax forms, our 1099s in the mail, and I'm shocked that from 2014 to 2015, I gave myself a $20,000 raise. $20,000. Who does that? I work a full-time job too. This is not my full-time job. I do this at night. Right now is kind of when I put in my hours, and in the morning I do a little checking in before I start my work, and that's how I've run my business all these years. I've always worked a full-time job as a clinical scientist in the pharmaceutical industry. So when I tell you you can do this part-time, for sure you can, okay? It's doable. And Deb's income growth from 2014 and 2015 was crazy. Maybe she'll share that. I don't ever like to share people's income. I think she's putting a post together, so you can check her page at some point in time, but I don't like to share other people's business. But it's unbelievable. If you are consistent with hitting Success Club and growing your team, the growth is just ridiculous. You know, one thing I wanted to share with you guys about how I make Success Club. Now, we brought on a panel of rock star coaches tonight that have made Success Club all along, ever since they've been coaching, you know, maybe a miss here or there. They've grown their business, and they're going to share with you their top tips of how they hit Success Club every month. But one thing before I hand the mic over that I wanted to say is that you're probably going to hear repeat tips, okay? Because what we're doing is not the secret sauce or anything, you know, secretive or special or anything we're doing to hit Success Club. We're all kind of probably doing the same things. So you're going to hear some repeat tips, but that's just going to drill home the fact that these are the things that you need to be doing in your business to hit Success Club. One thing I wanted to share though is that I never give up. Now that seems so cliche, but it's true. I don't give up on messages, on follow-ups, on conversations with people. I know a lot of coaches, they're so timid and maybe they're unsure. And actually, Shalene did a video right before this call. She was talking about energy and having posture and having confidence. It's standing up tall and being sure in what you're relaying to people, giving them options and not just saying, okay, you don't have the money this month, or okay, you don't, you know, want this deal or want to be in my challenge group, and just letting it go. I don't do that. And it just goes to show you that last month I had someone messaging me about an offer I had out on the table. It's so simple, these offers too, guys. You know, like for example, when a challenge pack is $140, right? And we always have challenge packs that are $140. And you know, Shakeology alone is $130 for a customer. So if you are telling someone, if you buy Shakeology, you can get this program for free, a 3-day refresh or a 21-day fix or whatever may be on sale for $140. That, for some reason, intrigues people to say, okay, cool, I could use the 3-day refresh or the program for free. And guess what? It costs you $10, but you're making more than that. And then you have residual income coming in, and you have a new person you can help in your challenge group, and you have the potential to eventually, you know, maybe have them as a coach to get a further discount. And that just happened to me last month. The person wanted my deal, and she took the deal. We started messaging. She had some questions. She didn't want to do the coach thing, but I don't just let that go. I share little tidbits of information and make sure I ask them a lot of questions back to have conversation. And that's all it takes, is conversation with people, right? This is a relationship building business, not just about the sale. Drives me crazy when people say, oh man, I didn't get that sale, or I didn't, you know, they didn't bite, or they didn't, you know, take the bait or whatever. It's not like that. And if you have a salesy mentality, people see that and they go running. They want a personal connection, because health and fitness is very personal. You know, people are shy about it. They're timid about it. They're fearful about it. So you have to have lots of conversations. And when I do that, it's not just about posting out on Facebook and saying, here's my post, now let the Success Club points roll in. No, it doesn't happen that way. It has to be personal, private messages. And I don't want to say you have to be relentless, but you cannot give up so soon on someone. So you have to figure out a way to keep going back and asking them questions, having conversation, and then it leads to the sale, right? So that's just my quick tip, but I really want to give the stage to our awesome coaches and thank them so much for being on the call tonight and sharing some of their tips. So I want to, since I know Paulette and Jenna are on the line, I want to start and hand the phone over to Paulette. She's on Team Dare to Dream. She can share a little bit about herself, but you saw on the slide, She joined mid last year, in July, and she has a lot of months in Success Club 10, and she hit Diamond in December. So congratulations on your success, and take it away.
Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me.
We can hear you.
Good.
Yep.
I'm already going to repeat some of the stuff that you said, Jen, and I'm sure that's going to happen multiple times tonight. But Deb had asked that we give, some of the tips that we used when we started or every single month really to our Success Club points. And the first thing I will say that you already said is follow up. No matter how long it's been since I've talked to somebody or, sent a message or they've even responded, if it comes to a new month and I'm promoting a group or we've got our new challenge packs that have come out, I follow up with them, even if they didn't respond. If they responded once and it was 3 months ago and I've messaged them twice and I know they read it and they still didn't respond, I still write back and I just say, hey, you know what? I've got another group starting. I know that your goals were this, this, and this the last time we talked. Have you met them? And if not, let's get you going. And honestly, they're either going to respond or they're not. But 9 times out of 10, they're either getting back to me and telling me, "Hey, I'm doing this, and maybe I've hit my goals, or I'm getting close," or they're interested again in talking to me about my challenge groups. Another thing that I do very consistently is invite to my groups. And like you said, and I did it today, I do it every month. I post on my Facebook page, hey, I've got my group starting, blah, 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 and I tell them all about it, or I try and get them intrigued. And really, it almost never produces much for me. I really get feedback and I get people interested in joining my groups by sending them a message and relating to them on a personal level. If I'm throwing it out there on Facebook and it's just a post, I almost get no response at all. And everybody can go out to my Facebook page and look at it today. I did it at noon, and I probably got 2 likes, and they're probably all coaches, to be honest. So, if that's one thing that you can take away from any of this tonight, it works only on a personal level. I feel like, if you're Deb or someone who's, got a ton of followers and you can put that out there and people are like, yeah, I've seen you for the last, 5 years or whatever, that it works, for her. But for me, who just started in July, it does not work for me. So I have to, take the time and get to a personal level with everyone that I invite to my groups to get them interested. I do post every single day, and that's one thing you'll hear constantly as we go through these calls and you hear coaches talk about it. I post something either about Shakeology or working out or, some sort of part of my journey, some sort of motivational post every single day, because it keeps people engaged, I feel like, and paying attention to what you're doing. If they're paying attention to what you're doing, they're more apt to see, what you're doing, that you're working out, that you have something to offer them, and that you are hitting your goals and helping others hit theirs. And probably the big one that I've learned over the last few months, like I said, and like Jen said, I've only been doing this since July. So it's not like I'm some pro who's been doing this forever and ever. But the one thing that I learned, and it was on a team call, another coach was talking about how she runs her challenge groups and how she makes them, kick butt. And she said that she, only has challenge groups that are from paid customers. So they either buy a challenge pack or they buy Shakeology Home Direct. And if they don't do that, then they're not in the group. And she runs a free group on the side, here and there. She said once every quarter of the year. So what I did with my success partner, if you don't have one of those, get one, was we changed up how we were doing it. We had a big group that we just kept adding people to. They were either ordering some, a workout or Shakeology or whatever. And we kept adding to this group, and it just got too big. And I think people felt like they weren't getting what they needed to out of the group. So after that call that we saw, we switched it up and we were like, okay, we're going to take a step back. We're going to shrink down our challenge groups, 10 to 12 people in these challenge groups every month. And they will be people that are focused on these programs. And it's worked really well. The people that are really focused on getting in shape or, hitting their goals are the ones that we're getting to come join our groups. We've got a ton of people that we add to our free group all the time. We're adding people to the free group every day that maybe aren't ready to commit, but they still see what we're doing. They still see that we are legitimate, and the people that we're working with are, reaching their goals as well as us reaching our goals as we go through. So adding people to those groups every month has really helped me hit Success Club. I had my best month ever last month, and I didn't do anything different, but I hit SC19, which still kind of floors me. And I know some people, go way above that, but still for me, I was like, holy cow. So, and I'm honestly just staying consistent. If I do that every month and I do those activities every month, every week, every day, and I track them and I know that I'm doing them, that's how I've hit Success Club every single month since I've started. And I earned my ticket to Summit. So I'll be at Summit, and I'm on the wait list for the trip. So we'll see. We'll see. But I definitely am excited that I earned double points, or dollars or whatever they're called. But, it's one of those things. And the leads, you can't go wrong. So.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for sharing. Those are great tips. And coming from a fairly newer coach, showing that it's possible to get right off the ground running. And partner with someone, that's another great tip. And just posting and being consistent. So if you do that, I think, as a newer coach, just starting to be consistent there and posting and inviting is big. You shouldn't have too hard of a problem hitting Success Club. And you don't have to have, Paulette is a rock star. You don't have to have 20 points or whatever. You only need 6 to hit Success Club, right? So start there. That should be your goal every month. So let's move on we'll take one of my coaches. We'll go to Jenna Tedesco next. Jenna's been a coach for almost 4 years, right? Coming up on 4 years in March. And she's a Lifestar Diamond coach. She's a Success Club legend. She's probably actually earned 4 trips, but only been on 3 of them so far. All right, I'm losing count. You can let us know. But I think one of them she missed because of scheduling conflicts. But she's been earning trips. I know we've been on 2, coming up on our 3rd one together. And Jenna is super consistent. And she also works full-time. She's a dental hygienist. And so she's my partner in crime. She's an amazing coach and friend. And so I can't wait to have her share some tips with you. So Jenna, if you just unmute your line.
Hello. I don't know how to follow up after all that because I feel like everything I'm going to say, I don't know. It's amazing. I've been doing this for so long, but listening to what Paulette said, I'm like, wow, that sounds awesome.
Well, you kind of forget, you kind of just forget all the beginning things that you were doing, but don't worry if it's a repeat. Just share what you do because you hit Success Club every month. Just share how you do that.
Okay. I wish I had looked to see how many months I've actually hit Success Club. Currently, I am a legend with 25 months straight, but I know before that, the first 2 years, there was probably only a few months that I actually missed it. And I remember that was the first thing Jen told me when I signed up was focus on Success Club because it's honestly if you get those, 3 new customers every month, that's how you get to your residual stuff. So that's always my goal every month is to get that. And I make that non-negotiable. Following with what they said about Success Partner, I think that's awesome. I'm actually on my third success partner currently. We just started working together. We're doing the cup together. One girl left Beachbody completely, and the other one, we just weren't a great match. So it happens. And you know what? My new one, who knows? But I think that's really helpful because you can bounce ideas back and forth with each other. So I just wrote down like my top 4 things that I do every month. So the first thing is sending invites. If you don't invite people to what you're doing, they're not going to come. I mean, that's kind of simple. And like Paulette said also, posting it on Facebook is great. And yes, I always do post it on Facebook because you never know. But if you're not personally inviting people to those groups, they're not going to like jump on that post and be like, oh my God, yeah, that sounds awesome. They're not going to. It may put a tip in their ear and they may think about it. But when you send that back up, like a personal invitation, that's fantastic. The other next thing I posted was about adding value to the posts that you make. I tend to focus more on personal posts because I find I get more attraction that way. I don't post about Beachbody every day, and I don't post about sales every day because nobody really cares, unfortunately. They want to see, I post pictures of my cats and I get 100 likes. I post Beachbody, I get 1. So I tend to focus on my daughter, my, motivation, inspiration, my cats, things like that. And then bam, once you get a bunch of likes, then I'll throw out a Beachbody post. But I find adding a value to your post, basically, branding who you are is really what's important. The next thing is follow-ups. You're sending those invites. If you don't follow up with these people, they're never going to follow through. If they just say, oh, I'm going to order, you have to help them. You have to assist them, follow up, going back with them. And follow up with everyone that says no, just like Paulette said, because those people say no I've had people that have honestly said no for over a year. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, hey, I'm ready to do it now. So you just really don't know. It does. Initially, I was discouraged. I'm like, everyone's saying no, but a lot of those people have come back around, and a few of them are on my team now, which is great. Something else I do, and thankfully I have good friends for this, but be critical of your posts. When you post things too, look at them again, read them, have a friend look at them, and if you saw that post, how would it make you feel? That's kind of how I reread and look at it. And I'm like, okay, if I was coming from the outside, how would I feel about this? So that's important. So that's my posting. I believe I said this about your invitations. You need to invite people for coaching and challenge groups. The worst thing that can happen is them saying no. So that's following up and going back with those people. Setting half-month goals are also very helpful. Creating challenge groups like at the 1st and the 15th of the month. If nobody joins the one on the 1st, it's okay. No one knows that no one joined the one on the 1st of the month. So the 15th of the month, those people that bought right in the beginning, or if you had one person be like, hey, I'll work personally with you, but I have a group starting on the 15th. You just have to kind of improvise sometimes, and do whatever works best for you. And something I always talk about, and I have hanging up in my house, it says, one way to keep momentum going is to constantly have greater goals. So I can tell you right at the moment, I'm like overwhelmed. I'm doing cup, I'm doing 10 different things, and I feel very overwhelmed. I have an entire list, and I am a paper person. So these are all the people that I've followed up with today. And, I'm trying to keep track of that because you have to keep, doing that every day. I think that's it. I definitely feel like I'm repeating what she says, but I mean, those are the keys. There isn't a special sauce or anything to do this. It's just consistency every day.
Well, I think you brought a lot of little extra tidbits to the table too. Especially, I love that you say, what's the worst thing can happen, that they'll say no. You know, you got to kind of brush off that fear of people saying no to you, because this business is about failure in some sort of way. And we have to get a lot of no's to get to yeses sometimes. So you can't take it personally. And like Jenna says, it doesn't mean not that they're going to commit eventually or want to do something with you eventually. It's just not really a good time for them. So also when you're personal messaging people, we've talked about this in Power Hours, but just as a reminder, go to that person's page and just check things out, you know, because there's so much that happens in life to people, and it could be a really bad time for them, and you just don't want to feel like a big jerk when you're messaging them like, hey, and you know, and their mom's in the hospital or something. So, you know, check out their page before you send a private message to people, and track the people that you're messaging and connecting with. That Jenna mentioned her tracking on her notebook. I do the same thing. I'm a paper pencil person, but tracking is really, really important. That's huge. So if you don't have a tracking system, figure it out. Either a notebook, Excel, an index card file, whatever you want to do to track your people, but you have to remember who you're making new friends with and who you're inviting and connecting with. So let's move on. We have two more people. We'll go to Patty Williams now. Patty, I see, got on the line. Hey, girl. So Patty's a 2-star diamond. She just went to the New Leaders Conference in January, so that's super cool. And it was fully paid because she hit Success Club, and she's 11 months at Success Club 5 or higher in 2015. Deb wasn't really sure, so you can give us that. But total months earned since you've joined to date is 16 out of 18 months. So really, I mean, we all have like that one crazy month, but you are doing an amazing job. So we're so excited for you to be on, and floor is yours.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me? Everybody go, yes. Thank you so much, Jen. And I don't want to sound like a broken record. I'm trying to think of something new and unique to like impart, you know, it's like pearls of wisdom from the New Leader Conference. Needless to say, basically like walked around totally starstruck. Especially like the morning or the day I get there and I'm in the Starbucks in the hotel lobby, and the girl in front of me is talking to me, and she goes, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look. So I looked, and Melanie Mitro's right behind me in line. And so I told her she could cut in line in front of me if she let me take a picture with her. So she did. But you know, we met Tony Horton. We worked out with Tony Horton. And it really was just an amazing experience. It was like a mini summit. There were like about 450 people there. And there were some coaches there so these are people who had gone from 1-star, or I guess diamond or 1-star or something, to at least 2-star. Some of these people, quite a few of them, I'd say maybe about a third, were elite. So they were 5-star. I was stranded there for a few days because we got whomped in DC, or they did because I wasn't here, and I couldn't get home. So the people stranded kind of reached out to each other, and I got a roomie for a night or two, and she was one of the people who did that, and she was elite. So I picked that poor girl's brain it was my hotel room, and I'm like, you're coming to dinner with me. Yeah, so, well, we happened to pick the night that Lady Gaga and Angelina Jolie showed up at the hotel, so oops. But anyway, yeah, I got some great tips from her, and I learned so much from this conference. And I'd have to say, by far, the prevailing message of the conference, other than be consistent and product of the product, and was Success Club. Bonnie Engel was there and she spoke, and of course Melanie, and all the guys, that Jeff Hill and everybody, the whole gang from corporate. And they really, I know it's like you sometimes you get sick of it. It's like, God, everybody's talking about Success Club. It's just like there's pressure all the time, but there's a reason for it. And the reason is because it's going to grow. It's the guarantee. They have all these analysts. We toured corporate, and there's this entire like wing, and it's all these analysts. And what they do is they study the statistics of all the coaches, like the really successful coaches and the kind of successful coaches, and then the coaches, that aren't, and they figure out what the common thread is. What are all these coaches doing? And the thing that the successful coaches are doing is they're hitting Success Club. And it doesn't have to be Success Club 50. It doesn't have to be Success Club, 50 million. You don't have to win the team cup. It would be cool. But even just the helping 3 people, even if it's just, and I don't want to say just, because it's not just, it's a big deal. It's impacting lives. Those points represent other people's lives. And they take it very seriously. And it's not only helping them, but it's helping you with your business, because just like has already been mentioned, when you hit that benchmark every month, and you do it month after month after month, what happens is a cumulative effect. Okay, the first couple months it's cool. Whoa, you get some money, it feels great, it's exciting, but then you get this building that starts to happen. Now, what happened with me was, let's see, I joined in July of 2014, and the first month that I did not hit Success Club was November, so I broke my streak. And then the second time that I broke the streak was March of 2015. And the reason that both of those times happened was because I wasn't consistent. And it was, I'm trying to remember exactly why I didn't stay consistent. I think in November what happened was it was overwhelmed. For me, it was overwhelmed in November of 2014. And so I kind of have a rule for myself in place, because there's always something going on. There's always this group, Diamond Push, this, the other. And I've told my coaches this too. I say, if your head's about to explode on any given day, and you've got 50 million things on your plate, right? You've got this assignment for this group, and you got to watch that video, and you want to do this, that, and the other, and your invites, adding new contacts, product of the product, like your workout, if your basic things are still not done, everything else gets moved off. Those come first, right? If push comes to shove, and you've got all this stuff you want to do, and you got to choose, and something's got to get cut, everything but those basic things gets moved off. Those are the ones that have to happen. And so that's kind of a rule I put into place for myself, because, I like in November of that year, I kind of lost myself in all the busy stuff, like the chaos of it. And I lost myself. I lost my whole reason why I was doing it. My workouts, dropped off, and wasn't sending out invites. I was busy just doing extraneous stuff, and so I would be coming up on Legend if I had made those 2 months. Try not to kick myself, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to forge ahead, and eventually I'll hit that mark. But I would have to say, as far as of everything that's been mentioned so far, because we do hear that you've got to be sending out the invites, and you have to post and everything. But I think that for me, I think the really kind of the key thing that's made a difference for me would have to be the follow-ups. It would have to be the follow-ups, and also, like Paulette said, re-inviting. Okay, because I used to think, Well, okay, so I have all my friends' contact list, and I have to keep adding friends at the bottom because I've already invited these people, so I can't invite them again. And then one day I went, well, why not? I mean, who says who? Wait a second. They didn't even answer me. Or I got to follow up. Or, we got off on a tangent. Has that happened to anybody when you invite them and you start talking, informing them, and you end up talking about like their, ex-husband and when they were in college, and you're like, wait, what were we talking about? And you have to get back to, and that was 3 months ago. So now you go back and you go, oh, by the way, hey. So follow-ups, follow-ups is how I found one of my amazing coaches, is that I kept following up with her. And also the free groups, working with people who haven't bought anything from you. That's how I became a coach. I was led into a challenge group and I hadn't bought anything from that person. And one of my coaches that I have didn't buy anything from me, but now she's a great coach on my team. So I will still work with someone even because you don't know the potential of that person. You never know. It's like you can't judge a book by its cover. And I would have to say another great thing about, as far as not just building, the way that Success Club builds your business is that it is the residual income that starts to build up, as Jen mentioned, but also the leads, as was mentioned, the leads that you get, not just the paid leads, which is nice. You wake up and you've got a new Shakeology customer and you get their commission. That's great. But I've signed coaches who were just, Success Club 5 leads, and they were just customers, and they reached out to me and said, I'm really psyched. I want to get started. I want to be a coach. And it's like, you never know where your next coach is coming from. You never know where your next rock star is coming from. So that's another reason that those leads that you get are kind of like contacts, really valuable contacts that you didn't have to initiate, right? You didn't have to send that PM. They were kind of given to you. Now I know sometimes it's hard to get them all to answer you, or some of them to answer you, but it's amazing. The ones that do, those can be really, really turned into valuable connections. So I'm thinking, what else? Oh, okay. So just a note, as far as checking someone's page, before you go, hi, how are you? You want to join my next group? Yeah, well, I did that about a week ago. And it was just to reach out and say, hi, somebody, how you doing? I hope you're having a great year. And her son had just committed suicide. So needless to say, I had egg on my face, and I tried to backpedal, and I actually ended up talking to her for a while. But I learned my lesson the hard way. Like, I was just picking names and just shooting off because I got too automatic about it. I got too detached, it was too robotic. And I went, all right, let's back it up a little bit. Take the 30 seconds, go to the page, and just take a little look. Because, when you get the message back and they say, well, not so good, my son took his own life, 3 days ago. It's like, yeah. So that was, not fun.
Yeah, that's a really tough lesson to learn there, right? I mean, I think we've all, I don't know if we all, but at some point in time, we make those kind of mistakes that you just, there's nothing you can do about it, but it's a lesson learned. So let it be a lesson to everybody here too, because that's really, really hard to backpedal with a situation like that. But it's interesting that you said about how corporate takes Success Club very seriously and how they track metrics, and they know for a fact it is what grows serious coaches' business that are actually getting this done. And that's why it used to be that you would get customer leads if you were Emerald, period.
Yep.
But they changed that, and they made it Emerald and Success Club to get customer leads, because they want to ensure that the coaches that are really taking their business seriously and really helping people get results are the ones that are going to reach out to these customers, right? And not just because I've had Emerald coaches that just get to Emerald and they're just kind of not really doing anything. They just kind of got to Emerald and they're just kind of hanging by a thread, or 1 month they're Emerald, 1 month they're not, because they have pretty much 2 discount coaches there with them. Like maybe one's their mom and their spouse or whatever. So that's why they bumped up, the way that you can get customer leads. You have to make Success Club 5. So that's a very important point. And also, you made one other point that I just want to reiterate, not to prejudge anybody when you're inviting people. And that was a huge aha moment for me only several years ago, like only a couple of years into my coaching business. I would judge and say, oh no, they go to the gym, they're super fit, they wouldn't want this, or they don't want Shakeology, or they're drinking something already, so why would they want Shakeology? And I used to get in my own way and get in my own head by telling myself those things and not reaching out to people. And when I got rid of that mindset, I met some amazing people who I would have prejudged that were like, yeah, actually, you know what, I've been following you, I've kind of been thinking about it, I'd love to learn more. And it's just like, it blows my mind every time. It's like, really? Because I'm still in my own head sometimes. But
yeah, I just did Christine Dwyer's boot camp in December, which I don't recommend doing it in December, but I did survive. I did make Success Club, and she very, very, very much emphasizes like zero judgment. I mean, don't even, she's like, I don't care if they're an Olympic athlete. I don't care if they own, 10 gyms. I don't, and I don't care if they have some, disability or whatever. Don't ever, ever, ever prejudge anybody. It's like, it's almost like the ultimate in self-flatter, like your own ego, right? So who do you, why are you thinking for this person? How do you know how they're perceiving things or what they're going to think? I mean, how can you know?
Yeah.
And so we're afraid that, so we decide we're going to project our fear and predict what their reaction is going to be.
Right.
And so we don't, because we're afraid they're going to judge us or reject us. And it's like, well, if they do, they're, next.
Right, exactly. So thank you for sharing all those awesome tips. They were very valuable nuggets. And we have about 10 more minutes. So I want to just grab Kara and introduce Kara Smith from our team. She's actually several layers, like I'm a great, great, great grandma to Kara. I always say that. She's several layers down, but on an amazing team of, I don't really know the team name, but anyways, amazing team of coaches. And I love all you girls. And Kara joined last April, and so she's going to be shortly coming up on her 1-year anniversary as a Beachbody coach, and I know she'll be a Success Club All-Star at that point because she has earned Success Club every month since she's joined. She is always on the leaderboard as well as a top producer, and her team is growing leaps and bounds, and so I'm so happy to have her share some of her nuggets. Oh, and she was my roomie at the Platinum Edge. That was a lot of fun with Deb. So take it away, Kara. Thanks.
Thanks, Jen. I'm blushing now, but can everybody hear me okay? So I'm trying to look through here and see what I can add because a lot of it is repeated. But I just wanted to say that when I started as a coach, I was told by my coach and by my upline coaches, you got to hit Success Club. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to hit Success Club every month. And my husband's like, what is Success Club? I'm like, I don't know. It's just this number. I've got to hit it. And, it was, took me a few weeks to figure out what it was. And all I know is that every time I would help someone join my challenge group, I just kind of got more and more excited about it. So I decided right then and there that it was non-negotiable, that I wanted to get it every month. I will get it all year and become an all-star. And I think it really, really starts with, well, at least I feel like it really, really starts with your challenge groups. Adding in people to help them and grow, and putting the time and effort into your challenge groups, I think is huge. Making everyone feel like they're part of your team, that we're here together, we're working together, and to meet everyone's goals and being healthy and fit has really helped me expand my Success Club reach, believe it or not. I have gotten tons of referrals from friends that have been in the groups because they see the success and they're out telling everybody. So it kind of leads back to that proof of the product, which we all know is key. And that's another one that's on my list, is to make sure that you are proof of the product, that you're showing everyone you're working out daily, that you're drinking your Shakeology, not in a salesy way, like Jenna said, put value into your posts. But I try to show everyone, hey, this is really working for me. This is what has worked for me. I'm out there not saying buy this, buy this, buy this. I'm showing people it's worked for me. It's worked for my friends. It's worked for challenge group people, so that they know I'm not just blowing smoke, that I have something to back it up. The other thing that I think has been a huge help for me is I made my list when I first started, my list of 50 people I wanted to invite to privately message to get into my challenge groups. And I keep adding to that list, and I keep going back to that list. It's in my notebook, just like everybody else. I like paper and pen too. But I go back to that list and I write notes. This one said no this month, maybe in a few months. Okay. I leave them alone. In a few months, I re-invite them. I follow up. So what everybody has been saying, I've been following up. I've had people that I talked to back in April, just this past month. Someone contacted me. I had probably 12 follow-ups with this girl back in April. She was not ready. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, she decided to reach out to me. So I followed up with her, and now she's going to join my challenge group. Another thing I wanted to say is, it kind of goes along with the posting. The majority of my challenge group or challenge pack sales come from people who do not comment or like on anything I post. And that has been a real eye-opener to me, because at first I'm like, why aren't people liking my stuff? Or, oh, it's just all my coach friends that are liking my stuff. And it really was like, is anyone seeing what I'm saying? Do they care? And now I've realized that there are a lot of people out there seeing what we're posting. They're following us. They're quiet in the background. And people that I don't even expect, like it's kind of what you're saying, Jen, with the prejudging. Somebody I would never have sent a private message to will come up to me, send me a private message and say, hey, can I get into your group? Or what do I need to do? Or how do I start this 21-day fix? And it just shows me that what we're saying, what we're doing, people are seeing it. So I think that's a big key in helping your business grow. What else? If I get nervous, if I feel like I'm not going to hit Success Club for the month, I'm getting close to the end, I start messaging people with if you buy it today, people who are on that fence that just need that little push, buy it today, buy it this week, you get an Amazon gift card, you get the free program, you get a new blender, anything to kind of put them into, just push them a little bit, because sometimes people just need that push. And it also helps me in return, because then I make sure I get the point for it. Not always. And I've had people a month later who say, I'm ready now. I know you offered me that incentive a month ago. Do you think you'd consider still doing it? And I've said yes, because I know that that's going to help them. And it goes a long way showing that, okay, my $10 that I gave them, they're joining the group now. They're ready to commit. And I'm showing them some good faith. So, and they tell people about that. And people then come to me and say, can I join? So I feel like those are really my biggest tips. I'm trying to look. Invites, everything else I've said. personal messages, shout outs. I think, that was kind of going with my groups, my challenge groups. A lot of times I personally message people in my challenge groups that are really sticking out as doing a good job, just to say, hey, great job. You're doing great. I love your post today. And it's just giving them a little bit extra promotion or a little pump up so that they think, hey, you know what, really cares about what I'm doing. It's making that connection, and that helps me because they get me out there and they tell other people. I don't know what else here. Looking at adding friends. Oh, that was my other big thing. This is something I didn't do right away because I wasn't comfortable adding people that I didn't really know that well to my personal page. But after hearing it several times through training and, seeing that other people are really growing their friend list on Facebook, I decided to start trying it. And it's not as scary as it seems, because ultimately you can unfriend that person if they're, stalking you or doing anything. But I kind of stick to what Jen has said in the past, and I definitely don't friend men that I don't know. I'm like Jen, I'm not comfortable doing that. But if I look and I see that there's a lot of common friends and I've maybe seen this person here and there, I will friend them. I stay away from any friends that have fellow coaches that I don't know, because then we don't need to have an overlap there. And I add at least 2 to 5 every day. And that's been pretty consistent the last 3 months, I would say. And that's really been helping. A lot of people have been contacting me that way.
Thank you so much for mentioning that, because if you guys are not growing your network of people on social media, that's going to stop you from moving forward in your business. Why? Because you're going to be talking to the same group of people over and over again. You're going to have no one new to share this opportunity with. You're going to have no one new to help. And you have to grow your friends list. You just have to. We do our business. I know most of you guys do your business almost 100% on social media. So think of your social media page as your business page. You have to grow it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So put that fear factor aside, like Kara did the past few months. She's already seen what it can do by adding new people. And those new people aren't going to be buying from you tomorrow if you add them today. So it takes time for them to see you're a real person, you have a real life, you have kids or a husband or a job or dogs or cats, and they need to get to know you, and you need to kind of see what they're like too for a connection to happen. Another great thing, and we're going to wrap up, Kara and her team, Nicole and Carrie, they all do an amazing job of just loving on people. I can see from their Facebook posts in general, people love them. They have great connections. They have a lot of friends. They have a great support system. They get together as a team. And that's how they're all able to get Success Club points as well. It's just, you got to love on your people. This is a relationship building. People make your challenge groups feel supported, that they're doing great effort. Give them compliments and private messages, like Kara said. And I think that definitely helps with, like Kara said, referrals and just trust. They're going to be one of your fans and come back to you for a second challenge pack eventually when they want to try something new. And you can have them order a second challenge pack under their husband's email or under their mom's email or whatever, and you can make a new customer out of it. That's another little tip. So I just want to wrap it up by saying thank you to the amazing coaches that got on the line tonight. First of all of you guys that are on here, we have 2 full pages worth of coaches on the line right now. So kudos to you guys, because you all are rock stars for being on this call, especially if you're on the East Coast. It's almost 10 o'clock or not. I mean, just getting on is showing that you are taking your business seriously. You want to learn about Success Club. You want to make it your non-negotiable monthly goal. And also, please join us for our upcoming live power hours. If you are afraid of adding friends or don't know how to invite, and you want to learn some tips and tricks and just get the job done, then get on a live power hour. We do them 2 times a month. I record mine because I do it by Zoom. Deb does a midday one, and she just does it by a live event. So either way, if that'll help you and that'll give you some language and relieve some fear, and just let's get out there and fill our challenge groups and help people. And thanks again. Have a great night, guys. See ya.